Now, NF is clearly not an industry plant, and I have to say this because there are so many people going around calling him one. So yeah, let's talk about it. Really quickly, just a reminder, if you like my content or if you do end up enjoying this video, don't forget to leave a like on it. Liking a video is of course free, it doesn't cost you anything, but it does help me, the creator, a crazy amount. Just wanted to put that out there since a lot of people genuinely forget to like videos. I know how it is, I'm one of those people. But anyways, let's get to the actual video. As you can see from the title, by the way, on the second part of this video, I'll also be talking about a topic that's related to NBA Youngboy. So make sure you stick around till the end of this video. But let's have a conversation about this whole NF is an industry plant thing that's been going around for these past few days. So as you might know, around 2 weeks ago, NF of course dropped his new album, The Search. I did talk about it just a little bit on my other video about him that I dropped a couple days after it came out because of, you know, the whole Eminem versus NF topic. Link to that video in the description below just in case you missed it. But as you can imagine, a lot of people were excited for this album. In a couple months, it would have been 2 whole years since he dropped his last project, Perception. And since we're talking about NF and the guy has, like I've said multiple times in the past, one of the strongest fan bases in hip-hop right now, the album did extremely well. In the eyes of a lot of people who aren't too familiar with him, it did a little bit too well because not only did it sell over 130,000 copies in his first week, which is, I mean, this is amazing. Salute to NF for these numbers, but he also beat Chance the Rapper for the #1 spot on the Billboard charts. From the perspective of people who've never heard about NF or aren't too familiar with this come up, obviously it raised a lot of eyebrows. A lot of people were now calling NF an industry plant because he beat Chance the Rapper, who clearly is a way more well-known name. I tweeted something regarding this saying, people calling NF an industry plant because he outsold Chance tells me one thing. Most hip-hop fans aren't paying attention to anyone outside of the rappers they listen to. Open your eyes. And that's really the main point of me talking about this topic. I want to stress the importance of just waking up, opening your eyes, and actually doing a little bit of research on people before calling them an industry plant. See, NF is a rapper whose come up has been very gradual. Apart from his song Let You Down, that of course was a very unusual spike for someone who practically was unknown in hip-hop and, you know, the music world period. Everything about him coming up has been him steadily creeping his way to the top with the help of his extremely powerful fan base. The thing about him too is his journey has been documented. There's tangible proof, as in videos of him rapping in different scenarios way before the fame. In this video right here from 2013, you see him rapping over an instrumental before he got signed. There's multiple videos on the internet of him performing at different places in front of different crowds. Check out this video right here that's over 11 years old. The crazy thing is his entire story is out there for anyone to read about. Clearly it's been documented. I think the fact that people are seeing this white rapper, you know, on the surface that might remind them of Eminem, it's kind of easy to brush him off and ask questions like, how in the world is this rapper that I've never heard about selling over 130,000 copies first week, and how the hell did he beat Chance the Rapper, who pretty much everyone in hip-hop knows about? There has to be something else going on behind the scenes, right? Obviously when it comes to NF, that's definitely not the case. I asked one of my good friends whose name is Bram Sean to give me his 2 cents about this whole conversation, and this is what he said.
Yo, this NF thing, people in 2019 that think NF is an industry plant, all I gotta say to you is, let me tell you about the people in 2017 that thought NF was an industry plant. The people in 2017 that thought NF was an industry plant ignored the fact that in 2009, there's footage of him performing at an arts festival, which I think he ranked first place for, but just performing at a contest. In 2012, he was signed to a record label that was under Capitol Records, and he spent about 2 years trying to get out of that deal. And then the people in 2017, 3 years later of him, after him getting out of the deal, thought he was an industry plant, right? After being in the game at that point for 8 years. That doesn't really add up. So I'm not gonna go crazy into the details because you should maybe do your research. But people calling people an industry plant simply because they're outside their bubble, right? This person has had a story outside of your own knowledge. It's kind of narcissistic, right? It's either narcissistic because you think everything revolves around you and if something pops up, you got to discredit it, or it's just immature because maybe, you know, as you get older, you realize there's so much outside of your own space, outside of your own bubble, and you're never going to know all of it. So choose one. But the irony of now people again assuming that NF might be an industry plant because he did #1 over Chance the Rapper, who actually at one time a lot of people said was an industry plant, is kind of funny. It's interesting. But yeah, this whole industry plant thing, man, the fact that it's usually because people just don't want to do their research and it's easier for them to say that, I guess it's the way of the internet.
I'm gonna leave a link to Bradman's channel in the description below, definitely check it out. But just like the point my man was hitting on at the end, this all comes down to people not being willing to do the proper research. You know, it's way easier to point the fingers without having any context, especially when the thing you're pointing fingers at is the definition of an anomaly. I'm saying that because NF is so far from the norm when it comes to having success as a rapper. I've said this multiple times in the past about him, but you know, this is a guy who's unbelievably big, yet a lot of hip-hop fans haven't heard a single song from him. It just goes to show you don't have to be accepted by rap fans to, you know, be successful as a rapper. And also, don't forget the fact that Logic at one point was being called an industry plant because Under Pressure sold over 70,000 copies first week. It was a top 5 album on the Billboard charts when it first came out, and he almost beat T.I. Everybody knows who T.I. was and is, but not everybody knew who Logic was. So yeah, obviously NF is not an industry plant. The success he's seeing right now is nothing but all the hard work he put in finally paying off. And that's what I have to say about that. But of course, let's move on to the next topic of this video, which is NBA Youngboy quote-unquote disrespects Nipsey Hussle. I'm using the quotation marks here because that's not what happened. People just love making a big deal out of things. Let me not, you know, just get ahead of myself and explain exactly what happened first. So the other day, there was an interview clip with Youngboy that supposedly leaked. This interview was shot right after Nipsey Hussle's unfortunate death, and the interviewer asked Youngboy a very simple question. He gave her a very simple answer, so let's check out the video.
Okay, Nipsey Hussle, his death, like how has that infected you or impacted you as a man, as a father, and someone very impactful in the industry?
I can't show fake love. I don't know him, but God bless his family, I guess.
As you can see, she asked him how he felt about Nipsey Hussle's death. Youngboy said that he doesn't know Nipsey, so he can't show fake love, and that was the end of it. Right after this, there were a bunch of articles popping up about this, reporting that people were upset with what Youngboy said. But what is there to even be upset about? The thing I don't like about this whole social media age is folks want others to keep it real, but when someone does keep it real, they get backlash for keeping it real. There's not a single reason why you should be mad about this. I'd be more mad if Youngboy started going off on how much he loves Nipsey, how much he meant to him, when the truth is he doesn't even know him. And let me not even name the countless of rappers who showed Nipsey all this love after he died, but that love wasn't genuine at all. Not saying you can't give your condolences, but I do have some issues with fake love. Just another thing I want to mention regarding this interview, I think the timing of this little leak is a little bit strange. I'm saying this because we got the news a couple days ago that Youngboy was getting released from prison within 2 weeks, and suddenly this pops up. A couple questions that are floating around in my head right now. Why are we seeing this just now? Who leaked this clip in the first place? And second of all, the intention was clearly to make NBA Youngboy look disrespectful, but for what reason? That's what I want to know. So yeah, that's all I have to say about that. But what do you think about both these topics that I talked about in this video? Regarding people calling NF an industry plant, were you one of those people who thought that he was one? And then NBA Youngboy quote-unquote disrespecting Nipsey Hussle, do you agree with me when I say that he didn't do anything wrong in terms of the way he addressed it? All he did was just keep it 100% real. Definitely let me know in the comment section below, and let's have a discussion about this.